Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. And your boy Boost has gotten his voice back. Yes, so now I can start talking. But guys, finally, Bonnie and Clyde's Q50 is in the nines. Yes, the first Q50 in the 9 second territory. Guys, that's that video. Let's talk about it. Let's hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. And good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody back to the channel. Much love. I really appreciate you guys always being with your boy Boost. I already know for my Boost in Motion family that's subscribed. I know you guys have already hit the like button. Thank you, and I really appreciate you guys for always showing your support. And if you're new to the Boost in Motion channel, watch this video. This is the Boost in Motion channel. We talk about automotive news, but once again, I am born and bred in Nissan and Infiniti, so I like to talk about that. But anyway, guys, let's go. Let's just jump right into it. First thing, shout out to Bonnie and Clyde. We're going to get into the video. We're going to show their 9 second run. We're going to talk about their build. But before we even get into this part, because some of you guys are new to the VR30 community, this is Q50, Q60, and Nissan Z. Where did it start? Is this technically the first VR30 in the nines? No, it actually isn't. And what I want to do is a quick screen share, right? And I'm going to screen share AMS. Now, in 2020, AMS took their Q60 and they ran a 9 second pass at the track. Bear with me, guys. I just want to show you guys it. We're going to the AMS Facebook website. So about 2 years ago in 2020, they did a 9 second pass at about there goes. They ran a 9 second pass. I can't show you the video because I don't want to get demonetized or any strikes, whatever, because AMS owns that content. They ran a 9 second pass at 9.96 at 139 miles an hour, right? Now, they did include some of the build here, such as a flex fuel kit, SPL parts, drive shaft, tires, of course, weight reduction. But there's two things that are very important to include here that was done technically 2 years ago, right? They had a built motor with rods and pistons and a built transmission from level 10. So there was a lot of money invested for the car to run in a 9 second pass. And a lot of us said in this community, that's a lot of money to spend to have a car that had a glory run at that point at 9.96. It was a lot of work for them to get there, but they did get there. And I think they did reset the time a little bit lower, I believe, the year after that. But nonetheless, people were saying, damn, this is a lot of money invested just to have a low 10 second and high 9 second car, right? So in the last 2 years, take that screen share off. So in the last year and a half, we've been having a lot of people on pure turbos with stock transmissions or some kind of hybrid where they either had a built transmission, but a stock motor or a built motor, stock transmission. But necessarily everybody was kind of a weird build, but they could not get in the 9 second territory because they never got to go to a track. They did a lot of this stuff on the street. The times, the draggy times they had would probably have given them a 9 second pass, but no one really got to go to the track. Nonetheless, we never got any Q50s in the nines that are VR30 until shout out to Daily Q50. He might take a look. He was the first Q50 in the 9 second territory because he had a built motor and a built trans, everything done by AMS. This happened, I believe, early this year, and he ended up losing his motor, which I know he'll give an update at some period of what happened, right? So technically, Daily Q50 is the first Q50 in the 9 second territory. But there's an asterisk here because once again, there's so much fluff going on. Well, he's the first one in 9 second territory with his setup. But then here's where Bonnie and Clyde pulled up with a stock sealed transmission, a stock sealed motor. There's no rods, there's no pistons, there's no built motor. Everybody else that's in 9 second territory has built motor and built trans. Well, Bonnie and Clyde did that by pulling up and saying, hey, guys, we're going to try to get that VR30 sealed record time because I believe we can do it. And with the Go Race Box team, the parts that they also installed on their vehicle, They did it. So we can quickly go to Racebox's IG. Shout out to the sponsor of this channel, Go Racebox. So we're gonna go quickly over there. We're gonna press pause. So for anyone who's watching, there's a Q50, of course, with some weight reduction, slicks, stock motor, not open, no rods and pistons, stock transmission, not open, not built torque converter, none of that nonsense. Just everything sealed with larger Garrett turbos. And this car does. So you guys can't really see the time. It might be a 10, but he put up the drag slips. So boom. The first drag slip was actually this one. This is their first drag, well, one of their first drag slips. They just missed his 9-second territory. And look at the 60 foot, because I like to, because people go to the drag strip, they'll sit there and say, let's look at the slip. Well, here's it on paper for all the naysayers. I know some people will say AMS did this 3-4 years ago, or 2 years ago they did it and whatever. I get it, but this is good to see that number one, tuning has gotten better. Not saying that AMS wasn't good tuners, but the software, the comfortability of the tuners, they continue to push the level, push the envelope, and see where it's at, and what is holding the VR30 back, right? So, the 60 foot is a 1.7. Technically, with their soft launches, or pretty much their launches, their launch control, they're dialing it in 1.7 60 foot. Majority of people could do this on stock turbos pretty easy, right? Want to throw this out here. Bonnie and Clyde, not Bonnie and Clyde's, AMS's Q60 and Daily Q50's Q50. Remember, they have larger Garrett turbos, or large full frame turbos sets, right? Turbo kits. They're pulling 1.4, 1.5, 60 foot. And anyone who goes to the track, every millisecond is 2 seconds pretty much off at the end. So he pulled a 1.7 and he pulled a 10-second pass, right? Cool. Trap speed was 143. And look at them. Trap speed is really high, right? Cool. Let's move forward here. Let's go back. Now, this is the time slip. You see how they got that 1 millisecond went down from 1704 to 1.61. And it almost, I know some people will sit there and say, but Boost, you said it's 2 at the end. Well, it didn't really pull off the full 2. It could be because of the trap speed actually went down. That might have affected that almost 2 milliseconds. Don't beat me up. But it pulled a 1.6, 60 foot. 1.8 trap speed is right around the same. And the trap speed went down about 2 miles an hour, 2 to 3 miles an hour. But it's in the nines. It's the first VR30 in the nines, still motor, still transmission. Now, I know some people will say there's a hype behind this. Some people will say they're pushing there because there's always going to be this back and forth. What team are you on? AMS, Racebox, Z1 Motorsports, whatever. Nonetheless, it's good to see that this platform continues to progress, because there was at a point where in this platform, man, you can't be making mid-10s on a stock still motor. Then we realized we were low 10s on a stock still motor, pure turbos. And then some people were running into popping a motors issue because they were pushing those pures really hard. 25, 30 psi plus. That's a lot of heat being forced into the motor. But a lot of modifications have been changed in the last year and a half that was that disturbed the modifications, disturbed the peace of everything. So people are now pushing a lot more farther ahead. Also, I want to include Bonnie and Clyde's car isn't all full stock cooling system either. They still have the upgraded cooling system, but they don't have what other cars may have, such as Daily Q50's had an upgraded air to water intercoolers that AMS was prototyping on this car. AMS's car a long time ago, I don't think it had the air to water intercoolers. I believe it still had the stock intercoolers, but they also had their own modifications they were using at that point too. Once again, there's so much changes, and what we're realizing now is moving forward. Well, let me stop pivot here. I want to pivot. Bonnie and Clyde's car has a GTR intake manifold, and it has an air-to-air kit. So they actually swapped over to an air-to-air kit. So it doesn't have the same response as if you would have an air-to-water kit, which goes right out the turbo into the air-to-water intercoolers and right into the intake manifold. They actually have their turbo shoot all the way out to the front mount intercoolers, go through that, then come back in and go through the GTR manifold and then into the motor. So there could be a delay, but they're dialing it in and they pull a 1.660 foot. So what I'm trying to say here collectively is this. Once again, shout out to the whole VR30 family, because really sit there and think about it, right? Think about what we're saying right now. We already saw, I think I made an updated video, or I probably did make an updated video about the Nissan Z and the nines already. So definitely check out that video up there or go on my channel. The new Nissan Z is in nines on just a pure turbo. That could be because of weight. But what I'm saying here is this: for the people who's been in this community on the VR30 Q50 Q60 community, we find this to be an exciting time. The reason being is that you can have a car with higher trap speeds, right? High trap speeds, and you don't have to do as much compared to a year to 2 years ago when you have to build a motor and build transmission. Tens of thousands of dollars invested to have a car that technically just has a build, build and go turbo kit on stock motor, stock trans. And I know it's not a 9-second car consistently, but it's doing it. And at the end of the day, I don't know about you guys. If you are a person that goes to the track, I get it. Remember, their car down right around 800 wheel on stock sealed motor. So some people will sit there and say that's supposed to be a mid in 9-second car, maybe even lower. I get it. The weight is a penalty. The 7-speed is a penalty. But for the people who may get a Q50, Q60 now, and they're like, I'm going to skip pure turbos. I don't want to deal with that. I want to be making 700, 750, a lot more, because they see the trap speeds. The trap speeds for a pure turbo, with the exception of the new Z. But most pure turbo cars are trap speeds are between about 130, 131 to about 134, 135. But with the upgraded turbo Garrett turbos, the trap speeds are between 141 to about 145, almost 10 mph faster. So for the people who like to do road races, this lets you know the car is a lot faster. Those 60 to 130s are a lot faster. Um, I believe, don't beat me up on video, guys. I believe Bonnie and Clyde might have added themselves to that 60 to 130 time for the Q50. I think they're in the fives now. I assume fives or fours, probably fives. So that's really dope. It's really dope. So anyone can correct me in the comments if I'm right, because I know you guys will take the check dragy and everything like that. So now I don't want to rant anymore, but it's just good to see that now on this platform, you don't have to invest as much. And I've even said it almost a year to 2 years ago with Mike Mixon from Dropper LLC when he's coming out with his Garrett Turbo kits. And I asked him explicitly, can we add this onto a stock mode and stock trans car? And he said you could, but we're still basically limited on tuning, and we still don't know what the threshold of the VR30 really is. Well, guess what now? 750, 800 wheel, keep torque under 600, and you're trapping between 140 to 145. That's pretty stout. And I know people who love the VR38 GTRs, but I don't even think they really even sitting there anymore. I'm sorry. I know some of the GTR people might be watching, but I don't think they even sitting with VR30s no more. I get it. GTRs are still faster, but you guys got zero point 0.8 of displacement. And I know you would say old, slightly older technology, but you already have the better cooling already. It was already air to air. It's better than our air to water set. And it's like we are putting up similar trap speeds to what you guys can do on y'all, either Nismo turbo or possibly like an upgraded turbo system. Before and then at the end of the day, most of y'all in the GTR community have to now upgrade your transmission because it ain't as reliable. We thought the 7-speed was gonna be pretty trash. It's still taking a beating. GTR transmissions, I hate to say it, are made of glass. They're not the same as a VR30 is. I know the 7-speed might be trash on ours, but it's taking a beating. I know the VR30s ain't dope enough, but once again, it's taking a beating. You know what I'm saying? I know I heard and know too much people in the GTR community where they ended up losing their motor. But I get it. It's older technology from 2008, 9, so I get it. It's not going to be perfect. But I hate to say it, we're in a modern day and age where the average coupe or sedan or sports coupe can compete on supercar levels of about, some people would say, 10 years ago. It is what it is. So outside of guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you for tapping in with your boy Boost. I know I talk a lot, but it's just good to see what's going on, man. I'm really happy to see that. And I'm really happy to see that now. I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it. It's good to see that the VR30 is about to really sit right with the B58 soon. But we gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see. we gotta wait and see. So guys, I appreciate it. You can add me at boostinmotion.g and Facebook. Also, my email is at boostinmotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, you have a good day. I appreciate you. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boost in Motion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.